Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight, we are here for another season opener. This is for the Season 4, the Hold Your Brakes Academy Xfinity Series, and we are here at the, well, I'd like to say Atlanta Motor Speedway, but I guess I can't anymore. Everything just keeps changing on me. We're going to go from the Xfinity cars to the O'Reilly cars. For now, it's still Xfinity. But for Atlanta, it's now the EchoPark Speedway. It's still going to take me a little bit to get used to that, but high speed, I mean, freshly paved not too long ago. We got the fresh scan here in iRacing, and it's pretty much a 1.5 mile super speedway for these drivers out here, and that's what you'll see here tonight. But should be some good racing, good sized field out here for the season opener as well. A little bit of fog in the area, so that the weather maybe not playing nice, certainly not to Jimmy's liking for sure. But I'm sure what you will see will be some good racing action out there. Carl Hamburg joined in the booth by Jimmy Cover. Jimmy, back here in action for Season 4 for Hold Your Brakes Academy.
Yeah, back in action, Hold Your Brakes Academy. Looking to get this thing started off right here at Atlanta. I'm hoping that the night moon will burn off this fog. I hate fog. Get it out of iRacing. It's terrible for the cameras, all right? So I'll do my best to give great coverage to everybody out there. I want to say thank you for everybody for coming back. Thank you for joining us here for the season opener. Jeremy Gill out there, Mediocre Sim Racing, Samantha back in action, Barry as always. So yeah, just thank you for coming back, and thank you for sharing the experience here with Hold Your Brakes Academy here on CRN. But we're gonna give 85 laps here at Atlanta. Like Carl was saying, it is a freshly paved track known as EchoPark. From that, everybody knows it as Atlanta. And Carl had a chance to get out there with these cars, and I was quite surprised. It's very, very smooth. It's very, very fast. You can almost keep your foot in it the whole way around, but I don't know. Like I only did about 10 laps, so after them tires maybe start wearing down, we might start seeing some incidents. There's a few areas on the track where you really want to kind of get that car down near the apron there, and on the front, obviously, with that slight tri-oval type, quad oval type area where it kind of goes in and out, and it could be really kind of squishy. So you gotta watch when you are side by side with somebody. But the field out there getting ready to get racing here. As I'll go ahead and bring up the tower here, so you can kind of see what everybody's best times are so far. We do have a large field out here tonight. We have 34 drivers so far. So definitely got some time, and we got 31 drivers with times in already. So everybody excited here tonight, Carl. And as Carl is, he's out in the field here tonight, so that's why he sounds a little bit distant. So
yeah,
if he sounds
the track, it's stuck in traffic on the way to Atlanta. Yeah, I mean, I did hear that you put in 10 laps on an oval. I mean, were you shaking after that? Were you needing to go over to Road Atlanta and get a little bit of road laps in to kind of get it out of your system after running a little bit of oval?
I mean, I just did it. I hopped in the car. I fired up the session. I got in the car and I did some laps. I mean, I could drink my soda. I could eat my salad here, and one-handed. I mean, what's so hard about ovals, right? But
easy.
But you can see
how oval fans out there, I'm sure.
You can see how tough the competition is here tonight. Sean McLean right now in provisional pole with only 20 seconds remaining with a 32.328, and right behind him Jeremiah Grau with a 32.338, and then all the way down into 10th place it's still a 32.3, but an 8.6, Carl, before it changes the tenths. Very close action here tonight on qualifying. What a way to start this thing off right. Everybody is extremely close. I'm sure drafting is going to come into play. And, if they can keep this thing here green and get them green flag pit stops, it's going to be a very big challenge here tonight. Make sure you get that car in here because it is fast. They need to make sure they practice. I preach it every season, every league, to make sure you practice them pit entries. But it does look like our qualifying is done, and I will go ahead and get those results up here for everybody and go down the list of all the drivers. Your favorite driver. You got a favorite driver out there? Shout them out in chat. I'll make sure we get some prime time camera footage maybe on board with them, see how they're doing in the cockpit. If you think they've hit the wall, we'll get down in there. We'll go around their car for you, and we'll show you, see what kind of damage they got. Even we'll do some distant spotting here for some of them drivers. But Sean McLean will take the pole here for the inaugural race of the season over Jeremiah Grau there for row number one. Row number 2, Timothy Presley with Tyler Reed. Row number 3, Shane King and Tom Lanier. Row number 4, Ryan Perrone and Thomas Osborne. James Smith and Anthony Strickland make up row number 5. Row number 6, David Chapman with Davis Shively. Jorge Ledesma back there on row number 7 with Rob Higgs Jr. And Aaron Genske and Robbie Miner make up row number 8. Tiffany Ellis and Drafty Beef make up row number 9. And then back through the rest of the field here. You got Tristan Miner and William Martin taking up row number 10 with Dylan Jacobs and Robert White. Bryson Anderson, Don King, Matt Bryant, Kelly Akron, Mr. Wafts, and Matt Ulmer there for make up back there all the way to position number 28. And that's not the end of the list yet, so we'll go ahead and click it one more time. And we got Jonathan Marsh back there with Jake Raven, Joe Thomas and Andrew Jones back there all the way in 31st and 32nd. 33rd is going to be Steve Harrison and Robert Altman all the way back there in P34. So maybe some drivers pushing the cars a little bit harder than others, and maybe tagging that wall and not getting that great lap. So it's going to be a great race here tonight, and that is our roundup here. As you can see, as soon as I drop to this overlay here, you'll be able to see those cars taking the track.
Yeah, good size lineup as we mentioned before, and a lot of new faces. I mean, there's a ton out there. We have certainly quite a few returners and a lot of names that we were used to seeing at the front. You know, you got Ellis, you got Beef, you got your I believe you finished second last season with brain fart right now. I know Presley was up there. Shane King certainly is looking for maybe a little bit of bounce back after last season. Jeremy Gill, that's who I was trying to think of, is out there in the field. Pretty far back for Dylan Jacobs, see if he can try and make his way through the field as well as a few others. But it's a long way to go. I mean, we got 85 laps here on the 1.5 mile EchoPark Speedway, getting ready to throw this thing under green. Hopefully that's what we'll see quite a bit of here tonight. It's one thing, you know, with a new season, with a new field, with a lot of new drivers. I mean, it's a crapshoot, Jimmy. You know it as well as I do. When you get to that first race of the season, a lot of fresh faces out there. I mean, whether they're good or not, you don't know what the tendencies are of the other drivers. Whether they like to, drive it in deep into the corners, or they prefer the high lines, the low lines. If they like to brake late, or they check up early. It's all a learning curve. It's not just about racing the track out there, racing the other cars. You're trying to figure out what the drivers in front of you, behind you, everything like to do. But biggest thing is, get an accident, hold your brakes, as we are here, green flag racing at EchoPark Speedway.
Yeah, back with Mr. Wasp, back in the middle of the pack here. Well, actually a little bit farther in the middle of the pack, but looking forward here. You can see them too wide here at Road Atlanta. They, getting off a good start here, and obviously going to be some close racing. They're going to have to exercise patience if they got some speed and they need to come up through the field. You just got to be careful who's around you, get your surroundings, listening to your virtual spotter. Maybe you got the benefit of your best friend out there giving you some real spot. You can see already some action going on with the 14, Mr. Higgs, right there live as he gets into the wall. So tough break there for Mr. Higgs. And we'll go back and we'll see what happened there on the track for them. But we're going to come out with our first caution on lap number 1. So tough break there for the number 14, Rob Higgs. Getting some major damage there. They made changes.
While you're bringing that up, it brings up another point here, and I know we didn't get a full lap down, but some of these drivers, a lot of the drivers are newer. This is dubbed as kind of a newer learning type of series, and a lot of these drivers maybe not up and hip to getting those tires warm. You got to worry about not just racing hard right away. You got to warm those tires up to get them nice and sticky. But we'll take a look and see what happened on this first caution.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back. I need to drop to Higgs here, Rob, and go up front, and you can see already at the point. I'm gonna have to back it up just a little bit to kind of see what happened here. And it does look like this camera is going to stink tonight. So we're going to
I can't see anything. Forget the fog. I can't see anything with the wall.
So even as
There we
bright
go.
as the pink car is, there he is up against the wall early on. And we'll go ahead and do slow motion, just trying to bring it down off the wall, and then overcorrects the car just a little bit. And it's going to get that car loose and wicked up into the wall here. So trying to get down off, ends up getting down there in the number 55, I think that was, and he's going to get spun around, keeping it up there, but the 52 T-boning the 14 here early on. So, you know, a tough break for that number 52 Haviland machine, as some drivers still trying to avoid 23. Looks like barely getting away there. Some drivers still kind of checking up. 14 is going to come down, holding brakes. 23 escapes. The other drivers do as well. But back to the action. Tough break there for the 14 and 52, and maybe a few others, but definitely have time to bring it down in the pit lane and get some needed repairs. But early on, I don't think we're going to see many people take to the pits. We'll go ahead and bring up the tower here. I'll show, let's see who came in here. See, yep, pit laps up, and you can see Martin back there, number 52 with a meatball flag. Tough break there for Martin, hopefully. And it doesn't look like he got the fast repair check there for him tonight. Does look like
either that, or maybe still towing back to pit lane too.
Yeah, possibly. But probably might be just sitting back there. So yeah, tough break for Martin, but early we've seen drivers come back. Just got to be patient. If cautions are a thing here tonight, you know, just stay safe, get your laps back one by one, and get back on that lead lap and go. But up front is Timothy Presley, along with Sean McLean, Shane King, and Jeremiah Growell, and Ryan Perrone for your top 5.
Let's send a shout out to the man back there in 26th position. That is Joe Thomas. He is the man behind the curtains for bringing in the sponsorship for the series, for the main sponsor, PinupsForVets.com, as they are the title sponsor here for the series for the Hold Your Brakes Academy. And he does a lot. I mean, not just with PinupsForVets.com, but also bringing in some of the other sponsors here to sponsor some of the awards for each of the races. He's getting as involved as I've seen anybody in any league. So it's pretty great to see. But it's really great to see the fact that he finally gets to get out here and enjoying these boys and gals out here to get a race in, because he's constantly on the road. You know, his real life job is in motorsports as well, working with the I believe it's the Random Vandals GT team, and he gets to drive the rig around the country, which sounds fun, but it takes him off the game, off the simulator, probably more often than he wants to. But either way, we're going to get this thing back fired off. Just want to give a shout out real quick to him and PinupsForVets.com. One other thing is, I don't see our defending champion out there. I don't see Joshua King out there. Shane King is out there, no relation, but I don't see the defending champ out there. But I do see the green flag back out as we are racing here once again.
Yeah, back on the green here, lap 5 of 85, so 80 little nice long laps here at the new EchoPark, or formerly known as Atlanta. But back on board with Joe Thomas right now here in P number 25, trying to get a look at what he is seeing. We'll jump down in the cockpit here right now. We're on top of his reg, but we'll go down in. We'll see what Joe sees in front of him. On the outside, he's got a car down to the inside. You see some cars running a little bit higher, giving some much needed space. And this is the tight area. Like when you come through this area, even when you're solo, that wall just seems a lot closer than you want it to be. So too wide definitely can be difficult, or a little bit nerve-wracking here. But as long as you're patient, you can go through there too wide, no problem. So here we are getting our first full green flag lap here on lap number 6. And we'll go up here with Sean McLean and see how he's fending off Timothy Presley in the number 1 and the 48 of Jeremiah Growell. Shout out there to Jeremy Gill. Man, I wish you're out here, dude. Good luck with your heart stuff, man. Take care of yourself. We're not going anywhere. We'll make sure we keep covering here at CRN with the Hold Your Brakes Academy. So just wish you the best of luck from myself and everybody else out there. So just get well, buddy. But right now, we're going to keep continuing to put up on the show here for you. And it is Sean McLean in the lead.
Yeah, Yeah, nice little restart here in the field. See, you spread it out just a little bit at the front, but it looks like the one of Presley already got his eyes on the lead. We've seen that one at the front quite a bit last season. Just wasn't enough to get him into the top spot of the championship for season 3, but I think he's got some higher, loftier expectations this season. We'll see if he can do it. And we mentioned about Atlanta kind of being a bit of a super speedway. I think it's a good starting point for this series. A lot of established leagues don't like the new repaved. Don't like the fact that it's like a super speedway. They prefer the old rough one, but I think here for this league it fits. It's a good start for them. It's not a super speedway. You're not starting at Daytona waiting for the big one to happen, but it's out there and have some good, hard, fast racing.
Yeah, I mean, it's comfortable, it's you're not out there, you're not fighting the car a whole heck of a lot. You do have to be careful coming off some of the corners, especially at a 4, down through that quad oval. Like I said, it gets tight. It feels uncomfortable. Now, I don't drive oval cars every day or every week. I just kind of get out there, just kind of make sure the cameras are set up and get some laps. I'm not unfamiliar with racing ovals. I've done it in the past, got to plenty underneath my belt. It's just been a long time, and I love just watching drivers go out here, having fun, competing, and put on a show for everybody out there. Never thought to this day that I would create a channel and be able to put on some sort of paint some picture for you fans out there, just to have some excitement and just see what's out there. And it's now it's just a hobby. It's a passion. I love that out here. I love getting out there. We had a couple off weeks. I got a chance to run a couple actually ran an oval race with the drivers over there at 191. I know Carl was out with the Hold Your Brakes Academy on Friday nights. So, I mean, we're trying to just mix it up, meet the people, meet the drivers, get out there and have some fun, and obviously put on a great field here. But, we got an incident here on lap number 12 as another caution flies. So we'll go back and check out and see what happened here. SDK did not, caught it, but it's scrolled up through a little too fast. But it looks like Anthony Strickland here is going to see what happened here. And we're going to pull up the cameras. Ooh, it looking like the 11 there just kind of checking up. And the 41 tagging the back bumper. And now you're going to see everything unfold as the 11 goes for a ride. 22 getting involved here. 53 taking a shot in the back by the 76 of Wafts, and then you got the 5 looking to avoid everything. Oh, that was close, down through the grass, doing some maintenance there for the caretakers here, but the field holding their brakes, doing what they need to do. Some drivers coming in still, but the 23 getting into the 11, getting some damage again, as the rest of the drivers seem to make it on by. So another caution here flies. Might be good for some of the drivers that were involved earlier, maybe getting a lap back or something like that. Now's the question of, are we gonna have anybody come in? When I got out there, this is the fuel mileage thing that I got out there. A full tank, Carl, was roughly 58 miles undrafted. So, and that was with me driving. Now, did I have the right setup in? Have no clue. I just was just doing some laps out there. So it should be right around that 58 laps. So I'm thinking, I'm not quite sure the fuel. I don't even remember what the fuel they put in these cars. So
do we ever, Jimmy? I mean, we always say that we check and we look and we watch and okay, well, no, they're coming in now. So that's that'd be the window.
We are going to have some Carl's breaking in and out just a little bit, but we're going to have some people come in and take that action of pit stops here along, Tristan Miner, Osborne, Strickland, Chapman, Wafts, Higgs, a lot of drivers that were already in, maybe have some damage from early on, trying to pick up some Jones. You see Matt Ulmer there with the meatball flag, that little orange dot on the screen here on the left-hand side on the column of drivers that I bring up occasionally. They have required repairs that need to get done to get back out on that track. So they're going to go back in there and hopefully get those done. But if you don't have that fast repair check marked, and obviously you guys can't tell, but if you're into iRacing and if you've noticed lately, there's a new UI. So there's some things that the drivers need to get used to. Different boxes in different locations. A lot of it's kind of similar, but it's really, takes a while to get used to when they change up your whole interface that you use. I mean, the steering and driving is all the same, but everything is that can be just a little bit different, and you might have had to reset your hotkeys if you had some of that stuff made up, or your button boxes and stuff like that. But right now we're on lap 14. Sean McLean still out lead with Timothy Presley there on the outside. The lights are off on the pace car. They're coming through turns 1 and 2 right now. Jeremiah Grau, Sean King, Ryan Perrone, and James Smith, Tyler Reed, Tom Lanier, Aaron Gensky, and Matt Bryant for your top 10. Then you have Davis Shively, Jorge Ledesma, Dylan Jacobs, Tiffany Ellis, Drafty Beef, Bryson Anderson, Jake Raven, Steve Harrison, and Tristan Miner for your top 20. Biggest mover so far in the race is going to be the number 41 of Matt Bryant. Up in 10th, up 15 spots. We do have another driver up 14 spots. That's Steve Harrison. And the number 51 into 19th. He's also up 14 spots or 15 spots. Jake Raven's up a bunch of spots. You have Robert Altman is up 12 spots. So a lot of drivers doing good. A few having some bumpy roads. Tom Osborne down 18. Anthony Strickland down 17. Dave Chapman's down 18. Rob Higgs down 16 spots, and William Martin down 14 spots, and does look like they're out of the race. But we're going to get back on the green here. The green flag is down. They're on that green, a skinny little, green. I wish it was green. It's a skinny little pedal on the right-hand side. It makes it go fast. And Sean McLean is going to, Jeremiah Grau is going to, who is that? The 46. Yeah, 48 out front. As SDK is bouncing around all over the place here on me. It's having a lot of fun with me.
Yeah, good restart though, and definitely gonna get the late flag laps in here.
We got a blinker up front. That is why. And it's messing with SDK very big here. But back up front here, it does look like it's starting to stabilize out. And as Timothy Presley is leading out, there's still a blinker up there. It'll probably fall off here off the charts. I think it's Sean McLean having issues with the internet. Definitely, he's like picking up glimpses of him, but he's falling all the way back here. We'll probably see him disappear. But Timothy Presley out front with Jeremiah Grau and Shane King up there in third. So great run here so far for Shane. Definitely trying to get better finishes this season. And what a way to start here from the get-go.
Yeah, well, I got a chance. I want to give a shout-out to our other series sponsors here for this season, being Majestic Promotional and Brandon Apparel and SM Racing for hopping on board and helping out. And I say it all the time, sponsors are a huge for any series, just sponsor the race course.
Carl might be going through the tunnel up there in Pennsylvania as it has he echoed out, but we're going to go ahead and figure out what happened here. Is Don King and Stephen Harrison. We get into another accident here on lap 18 of 85, and you can see up front that's Stephen Harrison there, and then tags the 70 of Sean King as they go off spinning on the track. Hold your brakes. I do hear an explosion of an engine, so that means a meatball here from somebody, and we're going to go, there's a few cars that were involved as well. What's going on here? We got some things going on here, and we're probably checking up for the pace car. That's my guess.
Yeah, one thing that we do see that's one thing that we do see that's nice about Atlanta is, again, for this series, they're allowed to get on the gas and get these restarts going without usually any kind of issues on the restarts. You know, certainly a lot of the older tracks. I mean, we look at tracks like Rockingham or Dover that got a little bit of banking coming to the start finish line, or just some older surfaces. It can be tough to get that throttle down and get those tires to grip up, and it can have major issues. So it's another good thing starting at the newly paved Atlanta to really have those kind of issues.
Yeah, tons of grip out there. It's kind of ridiculous, and they probably with the cooler weather here, especially at the night time, being a night race, it's definitely made it real grippy for these cars, and it makes it easier for the drivers to get around here at a good clip. But a lot of drivers still not wanting to give up that position, Carl. We're here on lap 19 of 85, and if, my calculations are right, a couple cautions, and if you would have stopped by now, you might have enough fuel for the rest of the race. But Presley, Growl, Smith, King, Perrone, your top 5 all staying out. Nobody coming in until back there with the minors. Back there in 18th and 19th currently. Coming in at lap number 12, and then Lofts, Osborne, Strickland, Altman obviously is in as well. So field getting jockeyed up here just a little bit, and that's fine, but we're going to get back up here up front. It does look like we have, if I show the tower and I go to, and I share pit time, we'll go up here to a gap so you can see where everybody's at. There is 26 drivers on the lead lap still. Higgs only 1 lap down, Carl. So obviously come back there for 14 looking for at least one more caution to get back there in the lead lap. And then you have a few others, a couple more laps down, and hopefully, they can get out there, get their car back on the track and get things started up here tonight. But some drivers up front not looking to for any more cautions, or maybe the right caution. When will they come down? When will they take new tires? And will the drivers that have already been in coming down with them as well? So, I mean, some drivers are forced down because of damages or repairs they need to make. But sometimes, Carl, that can benefit, especially if some drivers, just like now, where Presley and Jeremiah are staying out, eventually they're going to have to come in. And then if they get stuck in during a green flag lap, there's always that chance to go a lap down and then a caution come out, and that's a whole new ball game out there.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's a bad thing when it happens, but it could benefit you just because you're off cycle from everybody else, and you got those fresh tires. They're gonna be out there, even if they're 10 lap newer tires, they're still newer. They'll still be able to put in some better laps and be able to pick off those positions that were originally a little bit tough to get through. And now all of a sudden you just got that little tick to the high line, low line, whatever. It's going to stick a little bit that you were trying to pass originally and pick up those positions. It's almost what works like an extremely short pit on everybody else. And it just, you're forced down to that short pit, unfortunately. But hopefully, you're not spending too many of those free repair tokens, because you only got so many here. But we're back to green flag racing here. Hopefully we can see a lot more of that green flag the rest of the way.
We're back on the green here, lap 21 of 85, so about almost a quarter way through the race so far. Timothy Presley gets out front over the 48, so the racing continues to be very super clean and tight up front. Obviously, the drivers in the back still getting around this track, learning how to race. And we talked about it earlier. This is more of a beginner league. You see the 5 just kind of getting into it, maybe too hard, and thinking they can run at full throttle. Runs it a little wide, tagging the wall, but able to hold on to it. So that's all part of car control and some racecraft. Maybe next time by won't get in the wall. But the 5 of Dylan Jacobs touching that wall just a little bit here. We'll go back just a little bit, but oh no. It looks like Rob Higgs is in some trouble here again. And we'll go back here and check out what happened to the 14 shortly. I just want to make sure we don't go back to caution here. We're still green. It does look like Rob Higgs immediately jumped to the pits on this one. So we'll go back here, see what happened to Rob here out by himself, and come down just that front. Like I said, the car just kind of feels weird, and then I'm not quite sure what happened. Looked like he just locked up the brakes and towed. So maybe something.
They were supposed to. They didn't hold your brakes academy. So he did hold the brakes, did the right thing, but unfortunately not to pick that the hot purple, hot pink, whatever you want to call it there, number 14 of Rob Higgs wanted to see, as his night seems to be ending early here tonight. But still plenty of racing left to go, and still plenty of cars up here in the mix, and looks like they're starting to single file out here a little bit. And this is really what they got to do. It's easy to say in the beginning, and this is what you got to do. You got to single file out, and it looks like we're gonna have another caution. This is maybe the big one here at EchoPark.
Yeah, I was trying to see what was up with the miners, and they're locking up brakes to avoid the incident here. And it does look like something happened here, starting with Brian Perrone. So we'll go ahead and we'll find out what's going on here. And you can see them too wide down on the off the apron, and just coming up just a little bit. So just not enough. 50 not giving enough room to the 39, squeezing them down there. And the 39 had to come off the apron just a little bit, and that's going to send those for a little ride. 50 unable to hold it, gets into the 47, and then comes down. He's going to snag the 2. That straightens him out, ends up tagging the 59 just a little bit, and then the cars behind him trying to check up. But obviously at high speeds, it's hard too. Tiffany Ellis getting involved right there as well, along with a 13, a 41, 7 making it around. You can see they're 3-4 wide coming in the bottom of your picture here. The 22 of Tristan Meyer just locking it up. It does look like he's going to get away without any damage. And then 23 getting a little bump there. 00 is going to go around just a little bit. So some minor damages to some cars, and hopefully pit stops will help fix a lot of those cars. So tough break for those drivers, just to, drivers just running maybe a little bit too close, a little bit too early.
That's why, like I said, I mean, 85 lap race, the ideal thing to do is just kind of single file out, get through the first and maybe the only round of pit stops, and then start thinking about going to work and starting a race. But it's hard to tell a race driver that they want to go from the drop of the green flag, and you understand why some of these things end up happening. It's a shame, and especially when it takes some drivers out of the race. But certainly our order is definitely made up from when it started. We got a lot of drivers that started towards the back and worked their way up to the front, whether it's from not pitting, from getting lucky, missing these cautions, or what have you. But a lot different starting order. I mentioned earlier a couple of drivers that were starting a little further back in the field. Dylan Jacobs, Drafty Beef. Well, they are now 1 and 2.
Yeah, and they decide to stay out, and it's a chance they take, and maybe. Whether it's an extra point for the series or whatever it may be. I don't know 100% of the rules. So that sometimes those are hard to gauge. I got 2 of those on there. But you can see right here, I wanted to put leave the not best time. I wanted right here the gains, so you can see how many positions people have made there. So you can see Dylan Jacobs up 20 spots, Drafty Beef 16. The miners did very well through that. They're up in 3rd and 4th, 13 and 15 spots up respectively. Wasp up 22 spots in P number 5. Then you got Osborne, Strickland, Raven, Altman, 22 and 25 spots. So a lot of the rear drivers taking it easy, trying to take their time, just kind of gauging their way through the field. They've been lucky. They've been getting through the incidents, and now they find themselves to the top of the flag. But I do see a black flag there for Robbie Minor. I might need to serve that under green along with Matt Bryant, Matt Bryant down there in Pinot 24. So a few drivers maybe coming down in the pits a little bit too fast, or did something illegal, or like a pass under caution. Who knows? iRacing is pretty picky at times, and sometimes you don't understand it. But lights are off on the pace car, Carl. Dylan Jacobs, Drafty Beef, currently up front. It does look like Minor has the flag cleared, so it's going to be Robbie Minor, Tristy Minor for 3 and 4, Wasp for 5th, Osborne, Strickland, Raven, Altman, Chapman, Genski, and for your top 10.
Hopefully we get a nice little green flag run now, as we're still got plenty of racing here to go. We're only about a third of the way through this race. But now we'll see what that 5 can do from the front of the field. Certainly waiting to see quite a few drivers try to figure out what the strategy is going to be here tonight. I mean, they, like you said, they could very well be in the pit window from here on out, but you wonder how much the tires are actually wearing. It's a fresh surface here, fresher certainly than a lot of tracks that we go to. So you wouldn't think that's eating up the tires too much, but you never know. And certainly the fact that we have plenty of laps under caution doesn't eat up the tires certainly as much. If it is, if your tires are getting eat up under caution, you definitely need to work on caution laps. But either way, we are back to green flag racing here, and it is a good restart here from the field. Looks like everybody gets the traction down here, and we are heading off into turn 1.
Yeah, down into turn one, Dylan Jacobs is going to go ahead and take that lead, and we've seen Dylan getting friendly with the wall a little bit earlier, but keeping that machine up front there, and you can see who is that? It looks like Robbie Minor off the track there, maybe letting some of the traffic go by, maybe some damage to the car, not being able to hold up pace. We'll see what he decides to do here. You got Tristan staying to the outside, trying to give room to any of the cars up front, knowing that the newer tires are going to be quicker, but doing a good job of just hanging on to it until maybe another caution comes out, and then they'll be the fast cars here later on in the race. But right now, it is Dylan Jacobs out front still with Drafty Beef to follow.
You'll be hearing me a little bit better here as I finally join Jimmy up here in the booth, and now we get to enjoy a little bit better of a voice. I can't say it's a great one, but either way, you get to hear me a little bit better. And got some high lines there for the 76 of Mr. Woffs, and makes it pay off for the time being. Got real close there with the 57 Thomas Osborne. Now to the outside here, trying to make it work to get up to the front, to the top position. You got the big wreck there coming out of the pits, but we got a big wreck, as Jimmy mentioned, at the back.
Big wreck again. I see. That was right by as the leaders came by. It looked like Ryan Perone Sr. So we'll go ahead and snag that real quick, see what happened. You can see the 00 getting a little loose. 00 and the 50 getting involved together again. Sends the 50 sideways. Some net code maybe. It shoots the 50 back around up into the wall. He's going to bounce off the wall right there in front of the, I think this is, the 69. Does some 360 spins, gets into the 218 there of Joe Thomas. Looks like Tiffany Ellis getting snagged the 99, even all the way off the track down, way on the apron, gets involved. You can see the 6 coming through as well. So, yeah, few drivers working their way through. A lot of drivers slowing up at this point here and noticing something has gone on and made their way by. And you can see the 3 taking their time, making sure somebody doesn't pull down in front of them. But another incident here on lap number 31. And I'm sure we'll see some more pit stops and, getting to that point where closing in on the halfway point, not much farther, within 15 laps here. So definitely something that the driver's going to do. We'll go ahead and bring up the tower for everybody, and I'll put up the pit lap here, so you can see when your favorite driver maybe come down in the pits and who's got what. You see Perone there still with a meatball, Joe Thomas now with a meatball, and then a few other drivers. But it does look like some drivers still making some big moves here. I do need to add this and this so you guys can see who is still on the lead lap. It does look like we have 22 drivers still on the lead lap.
Yeah, and once again, still plenty of racing to go as we see. That's who that was. I got the wave around there. Looks like it was Robbie Minor, the 53, getting back on the lead lap. I'm still seeing a few black flags out there for Robert White, for Joe Thomas, and then the meatball there for Ryan Perone Sr. So we'll see if those get cleared or if they're going to have to take care of that themselves. But it's going to put 23 cars now on the lead lap with Robbie Minor getting back up there. And I believe, yeah, okay. I thought it was still saying -1 lap, but no, it would be 23 cars on the lead lap. But it is Dylan Jacobs at the front, Mr. Woffs in second, Drafty Beef, Thomas Osborne, Strickland rounding out your top 5. Then you got Minor, Raven, Genski, Altman, and Presley for your top 10. But certainly, I would think probably some pit stops still looming for quite a few of these drivers out here tonight. I don't think they're going to go, even if they go green the rest of the way, I think we're still going to see some pit stops from just about everybody out there, but still quite a ways to go here. And we'll see who's got the hot shoe for the season opener here for season number 4 of the Hold Your Brakes Academy, presented by PitUpsForVets.com.
Yeah, first race of the season, obviously, new drivers, like you said, new faces, getting out there, the excitement. Just the build up, to start the race. You always want to start off a season good and not be behind the Powerball. And, I'm sure some drivers, as easy as this car, or as easy as this track can be to drive. You can still see some drivers, because of how quick it is, and maybe their confidence is either high, or maybe it's just, it feels a little bit different. Pushing this car to the edge can be a trick sometimes. Definitely the apron can throw you off if you get down there a little bit too low. And if you're just following somebody, we've been in the cockpit of many of these drivers. I'll just hop into anybody, just follow them around, following each other around the track. Click the wrong camera. So we can get down inside the cockpit here, and you can just see here with Tyler Reed, looking forward there on the Turtles machine. It's hard. There's you can't see what the driver's doing in front of the Turtles machine. And if they get lined up like this, it's really hard. So, and they're traveling 150, 170 miles an hour around here, and it really does get challenging when things come up so quickly to try to avoid. And these cars don't stop and turn on a dime when you're going 50 miles an hour. So, but we're back under green again here. It does look like Dylan Jacobs is going to get out front here early on here tonight to get that 5 Valvoline machine just a rolling as we start here for another set of green flag laps.
Ref the Beef gets a good restart there from 30 to move up into second in front of Mr. Wafs, but definitely some battling back through the field. 3 wide back here as the 115 there making an aggressive move to the bottom. That's Aaron Genske. And we got a car in the wall, staying off of Altman for a second.
He's on the brakes.
Gonna lock it up. We're gonna be under another caution here. I believe. I don't know if I've seen it come out, but certainly a few cars involved in this.
No caution flowing yet.
What? Yeah. All right.
I don't know how that happened. Do not know how that happened.
Thomas Osborne was the 57 that ended up getting turned there, got up into the wall, tried to come back down, and just a little bit too close to Altman there, and started a bit of a chain reaction. Looking like Jake Raven was involved. He jumped into the pits. Robert White, I'm not sure if he was involved. He is, I think, is already in the pits.
I'm going to go ahead and start this here real quick, see what happened. See the 57, he just locks it right up there, right in front, just locks on the brake right there in front of Tristan Miner. Oh, 37, I still can't believe that's not caution for iRacing. Yeah. That all, you can see the hood bouncing and some of the drivers going there. Tristan Miner getting going again. Just a tough break for some of these drivers, but I mean, he locked it up. But he locked it up and right in what seemed to be a corner. So tough break for some of those drivers here yet again, as we are still green somehow here at iRacing.
I don't think it's, we talk about not understanding the fuel mileage sometimes. I don't think I'll ever understand the iRacing cautions, because I get that most of the cars involved in that incident there were, off the racing line, some of them off the track completely. But you had a car that was literally stopped dead on the outside, and the outside is kind of a viable line coming through the tri oval right there, or the quad oval. And that was a hard impact there.
That was a hit.
That was massive. I'm not sure if that was Davis Shively.
Yeah, that was Shively.
That was almost like you thought it was a tri-oval and forgot the extra turn there. That thing just went straight into the wall. I don't know how he drove away from that one.
Yeah, I don't think he is. It does, going down, it does, Shively might still be out there, struggling. Let's see if I can find him. 85, yeah. He is going, but he's going to have to bring that 85 down into the pits here and get some massive damage. And overall, Carl, assessment, the car looks banged up, but better than I thought it would be after hitting that wall that hard. It does look like the right front toe is just messed up. Is that right tire is just
I've gotten into the other wall so many times, just brushing it, getting a meatball. How the hell that isn't a meatball? I mean, he absolutely tattooed the outside wall, but it looks like we are going to get a caution now, and this one is going to involve Robert Altman as well. But this was going to bring out a caution.
Now we're going to see what happens here. Oh, and Altman just being collected there by the who is that? 0 something. Anyway, he's going sideways, so it doesn't look like he's going to escape there with not much damage, just getting sideways. But look at this caution here for the car. 2 cars, only 2 cars, and almost off the track. Oh, right there. That's why he got the caution. Somebody drove by.
Yeah, and it was parked sideways across track. I guess that's the prerequisite. You got to be sideways instead of pointing in the racing direction. But it's going to give a chance to some of these drivers at the front to come into the pits. Looks like our leaders are going to come in. Dylan Jacobs into pit lane, Drafty Beef into pit lane, but quite a few staying out as Timothy Perez is going to take over the lead here. Aaron Genske is going to stay out. Mr. Woff, Shane King, Tyler Reed going to stay out for the top 5. Jeremy Grau, Bryson Anderson, Jorge Ledesma Jr., Tom Lanier, and Kelly Acker will be our new top 10 because we got quite a few into the pits here on lap number 40. Still not at the halfway point here tonight. Still got a lot of racing left to go, but hopefully, again, at some point, they'll realize we got to get some laps in here, as it looks like the 8 there. Jaron Martin is going to get the lucky dog on this one.
Yeah, obviously, this league is for beginners. It's always been noted that way. And we got and there's a lot of times, Carl, some of my better races have been in the lower splits when a lot of drivers were learning. So, but drivers have them days, where just the simple things happen. Whether it's awareness, a new track, maybe you're running on single monitor, you're not running on triples, which is a huge difference. I never thought it'd be like that huge of a difference, but there's just something to having, 50, almost 60 inches of screen. Like I have about 60 inches of screen space from, all from my left to my right. So when I look over to my left, I'm looking out the window. When I'm looking to my right, I'm looking out the window. If I was just center screen, I could look right or left, but I would have to use like a hotkey or something like that. And then basically you take your eyes off where you're driving. So triples by far is probably the most most information you can get for your eyes. I think VR, the drivers that run VR, I wish I could run VR, but I just get hot. They're too heavy. I don't know if my machine wasn't good when I tried it, or if I didn't have stuff set up. But I think that gives you the most realism, like you're sitting in the car. But you still have to turn your head left and right to basically see out them windows. But yeah, there's a lot of different things that these drivers got to go through, each season, each race. And right now we're 42 laps in. We're about at the halfway mark. The lights are off on the pace car. They are starting a double file back up here, and you can see it's going to be back to Presley and Genske back up to the front here. So everybody kind of shuffling around here, making their way. A few drivers with meatballs out there. Still got to see Tristan Miner and Joe Thomas with meatballs. Don't know if they'll be back out on the track yet here tonight or not. But we're going to get going green here as we work our way down the backstretch, down in through turns 3 and 4.
We do got 18 cars on the lead lap with Strickland getting back up there, but it's a shame that we started. Technically, we started with 35. Looks like a couple cars didn't even turn a lap here tonight, or at least Marsh looks like it didn't turn a lap. But quite a few drivers out of the race to this point. So it looks like we're left with 26 cars, maybe 25 cars at the moment. But at the front, Timothy Presley looking to take that number 1 spot here tonight. He's got the control here on the restart, and we are back to racing here at EchoPark.
And Barney waving that flag, getting everybody underway yet here again as they head down in the turn number 1. Here they go, 3 wide. It almost looks like somebody wanted to go. Still racy as ever, like we're down in the final laps, and we talked about it as the drivers love to race no matter what's going on. A caution here, caution there, they do not care. They're going to get out there and they're going to try their best and get the best finish as possible. Take every moment as you can, from some of our best drivers out there that we've talked to, and a lot of them talk. You can win championships and you can win, basically win champions on your worst race. So you can turn a bad race into a good race. That's what you got to try to do. And that's what these drivers are out here doing. They're having fun. They're still racing. Maybe not as long as they want to. They're sprints, 5 laps here, 8 laps here. So we're looking for that long green flag run here tonight. I'm hoping for them. They deserve it. They got the talent to do so, but we're too wide up front right now. Timothy Presley, Miss Ross out front, then Shane King and Aaron Genske, Tyler Reed, Jeremiah Grau, Dylan Jacobs, Jorge Ledesma, Bryson Anderson, and Tom Lanier for your top 10.
Or you could be like Jimmy and sleep your way to a championship because Nap's not winning championships as well.
I can't believe it.
But yeah, I agree with Jeremy Gill out there. I started myself. I started on a laptop, went to a big screen, went to VR, and then eventually settled with triples. And I don't think I could ever go back to any of the others. Even the best VR out there. It's just is it nice for some racing? Was it awesome when I did dirt track racing and you see you almost feel the dirt flying up at your face and you can really kind of look around quickly, which is kind of what you need to do on dirt oval racing because the spotters are just absolutely horrible in iRacing when it comes to dirt racing. But for everything else, especially for what me and Jimmy will be involved in this coming weekend. Staying in the Atlanta area here, but heading over to Road Atlanta for the Petite Le Mans as we're going to be competing in the 10-hour endurance race. I'm actually going to be competing with two different CRN teams over the weekend and see if we can get at least one podium between the two teams, if not both. But it's a tricky little track. It's a fun track. I know Jimmy is looking forward to it. It's one of the tracks that he looks forward to every endurance season. But tonight, we're just looking to get this thing. We're past the halfway point at this time. I know with the cautions, it's maybe seemed like a little bit of endurance race for these drivers under caution, but hopefully now we've clicked through enough cars out of this race that we can try and get to some lean and green racing out there. Timothy Presley still leads the way. Shane King in second. Mr. Woffs up there in third, rounding out tonight's podium at the moment. And then through the rest of the top 10, you got Aaron Genske, Tyler Reed for the top 5, Tom Lanier, Jeremy Grau, Dylan Jacobs, Jorge Ledesma, and Drafty B for the top 10.
Yeah, looking good so far. Obviously, there's some too wide action up here up front. You can see how close they are. I mean, I am not surprised that they're running this close. I mean, we've seen the qualification times and what they can do. Just kind of getting out there and getting things done, and it's just a lot of fun. And this is what they're looking for. This is what the drivers want to do. They might gripe and moan a little bit when people make a mistake, but they out here, this is what they want. This is what they come out here to do each and every week. They want to run side by side. They want to compete. They want to win the right way. Nobody out there is out, especially here, is trying to cause incidents on purpose. They're just driving the car hard, and they're really trying to learn their racecraft. And, being some younger drivers, and I'm not talking age, but maybe to the sim. Because I'm definitely I consider myself a younger driver, but I'm definitely not young. So we're definitely out there just trying to have fun and just enjoy the hobby. Put on a show for people that care to watch and root them on and support them doing something that's as niche as iRacing. So we love it here at CRN. We love it here broadcasting Hold Your Brakes Academy. So thank you to all the sponsors. Thank you all fans. Again, can never stress that enough. We do this for you.
What's the old saying, Jimmy? Those who can race, those who can't broadcast. Well, I guess that.
Where did that come from?
It just feels right. Well, unfortunately for Samantha out there, I did see Robbie Minor must have had some kind of issues. Seen him toe to pit lane, and he's back out there now, so not sure what the issue was for the 53, but certainly not going to help his case here tonight. Going to be back, I believe, lost another lap or two under that one, but looks like Mr. Woff's pulling out of line here. Not sure what's going on here with the 76. If he's out of fuel or what the case is here. He is slowing down, and the ESPN bet number 76 looks like he's going to come into to pit lane here. And going to have a
last in on lap 12.
Yeah, so this could be the outer edge of the maybe is the outer edge of the pit window here. But either way, it's going to give the lead to Shane King here at the front. Tyler Reed, Timothy Presley, Aaron Genske, both battling for third and fourth place here. Is the 115. Has liked that outside. I've seen that at 115 against out there quite a bit here, trying to work all the lines.
Yeah, just trying to figure out the here, and you can see them coming down there that quaddle where they're coming off the main raceway down below the apron, and I think that was the one part of the racetrack that the car just felt unsettled. Like I said, unsettling. The walls seem to close in real fast on you there, but I know those drivers aren't wanting that car behind them to get down to their inside and push them to the outside, and that's why you find a lot of drivers kind of dropping below that apron just a little bit, and then that's what Shane King's here doing, just trying to keep his competitors behind them. But you have to be consistent. You have to feel that transition of the car from off on that apron back on the main race surface, because the car kind of floats, Carl, and if you're not careful, you can find yourself losing it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really need to put that much wheel into it when you go into these corners here. It's banked enough, and the tires really stick to the asphalt enough that you aren't steering as much. But yeah, I mean, it goes the same way with your super speedways. You're still turning enough that you kind of have to work and feel the car into the corner, and then once you settle in there, you see none of the cars are going straight. There's a ton of grip out there, and I mean, it's grip for days when it comes to certain other tracks that they go to. But the car still does dance around a little bit, and it's luckily wide enough that these drivers can give plenty of space. Doesn't mean they do all the time, but looks like the leader's coming up on a lap car here, and yeah, a great job there.
It's Tiffany
by the lap car there of Tiffany. Hoodless here at this point in the race. I'm sure that's not exactly what she wanted to be here, but still running around there in 19th, and got to give it to her, sticking it out. You never know what happens the rest of the race. Not sure if she's going to have enough time to get anything repaired and get back in any kind of mix here tonight, as Altman into the wall. Does a good job staying up there. Is going to lose a bunch of spots, but no caution. He keeps it clean, and we're still racing here at EchoPark.
Yeah, he got real close door to door with somebody up there, and just kind of lost the car just a little bit, putting it toward the outside. But a great job of controlling that car getting loose and holding it and going forward, and basically keeping the damage off. It's going to find himself keep going at that pace to get a good finish here. To 60 is Shane King, obviously looking to possibly get a win, but so are the competitors behind him. Timothy Presley in the 1 on the outside, looking to get the run. They got the 115 out there. The 5 of Dylan Jacobs was out front there a little while early on. The 99 has been showing presence here as well. The 7 of Bryson Anderson kind of coming up in the field. Somebody I've been watching quietly. I haven't said much about him, but that number 7 Toyota machine definitely coming up the field. The 44 of Jorge Ledesma, also another car to look out for, looking to get another great finish. Drafty Beef, but 3 wide here with Drafty Beef. The 7 and the 5 of Jacob Dillon.
Yeah, that was mighty close there, as Jacobs scraped the wall there a little bit through 3 and 4, tried to get it off the wall, but I don't think the 7 wanted to give him too much space. He wanted to get that position, and it worked out luckily for all 3 of them, as we keep it green here. Shane King, the man behind the curtains here at the Hold Your Brakes Academy, the one that runs everything here. Good to see him get some time in the sunshine there. Well, or the moonlight, whatever you want to call it here. He is leading the race here, and has looked pretty good here tonight so far. So maybe that little bit of off-season has helped out for the 60, and we'll see the 60 up front a little bit more. But a lot of good competitors here in the series. I know we talked about it being kind of a more beginner-friendly and geared more towards newer drivers. And some of the drivers still trying to find their way, but it doesn't mean there's not some quality drivers in here as well. There's definitely some drivers that know their way around these tracks, whether it's the ovals or the super speedways, the short tracks. It's tough. It's tough to go to different styles of racing. I mean, certainly your 1.5 mile tracks like this at Atlanta. You can go to a Charlotte, or you can go to Texas and at least get a feel for what it's like, as we got 3 cars coming down here into pit lane. And I just noticed, Jimmy, I wonder why the cars were coming down there early on the backstretch. That's where you need to enter. Wow. I seen the cones there on the backstretch.
Well, that's one heck of a spot to come on. I didn't even notice when I was out there, Carl.
I just noticed it right now. I see the cones there on the backstretch, so that's where the commit line is all the way back there. And I like that. I like that idea. That's you don't have those late divers in the pit lane off of turn number 4 and cause some extra incidents.
Yeah, that's always a pain, but you can see the drivers coming down here. I'll go ahead and pull up the tower here so you can see who's pitting and what they're giving up in here. Last they were in on lap 25, so we got 25 to go. So, 40-ish laps or so on that fuel here. So, and kind of getting out there and finish this thing back up. Sure, getting new tires. But green flag pit stops underway, and this is actually a milestone here. I think for this race, Carl, out long enough to get these things done under green, and get these drivers to get that much needed, part of racing, of a typical race, that green flag pit stop, and exercise. Hopefully, what they've been practicing for, the previous weeks here at the new Atlanta track. But Drafty Beef currently out front with that 9 of James Smith following, and they were in on lap 40. So, do they have enough to go the rest of the way? And I guess that's the question here for a lot of these drivers. I think your next one's back there, and I know in P5 are going to, but you can see there's only 2 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, and that's a big difference here. And he talked about the drivers
Jacobs
in there
with a black flag, high speed. Oh, it went away. Let's say he got a black flag. No, he still has it. Black flag.
That was a donor for me here. Yeah, it looks like he has a black flag and Bryson Anderson.
Price speed in the pits.
But I didn't think Jacobs came into the pits yet. Maybe I was wrong. But either way, we talked about the drivers coming in here. None of them took tires, though. We did have some different strategies coming in to the track. The 60 of Shane King got out there. I believe it was at most 2 tires, but I think it was just a fuel only on this one. But man, you look at the battle up front here. Drafty Beef in the lead. James Smith right there in second place. And then you got quite a few lap cars mixing up with them. And actually, Davis Shively is up there in third place as well. You remember early on, Shively, a heck of a massive drive into the outside wall on the front stretch. How about 85 bouncing back, running currently in third, and one of the 2 cars yet that has got to come into the pits. It looks like we got 3 cars left with Smith, Beef, and Shively, but Beef is coming down into pit road this time, so that'll leave 2 that have yet to come in to make their final pit stop.
Oh, but it's gonna be a wreck.
Oh, yep, that was not going to end up great, and is that a
yellow flag?
Caution? Yeah, the yellow flag is going to come out. And again, how about the benefit here for James Smith and Davis Shively? But you see the lap car went down to the bottom, tried to hold it down there, but unfortunately, I believe that was the 69 of Robert White coming up there. And hard impact into the 57 of Thomas Osborne. Looks like the 76 of Mr. Woff's got a big piece of that one as well.
Yeah, he got back in the back end, and and we talked about it. He went low, and I don't know if he was thinking about coming into pits and got them brakes, and the brakes are hot, and you got him back a little farther to help the car rotate. You didn't readjust your brake bias. It doesn't work very well. The car decides to plow, and that's what'll happen there, I think, and it's gonna be hurtful for some of these drivers, going to be beneficial for some others. And James Smith, obviously, being the man with the most benefit, as he is the only car on the lead lap.
Yeah, Davis Shively in second place, but he is a lap down. Did not notice that. So I thought he was up there battling in the top 3, but yeah, a lap down up here. So James Smith can't really be any better than the 9 right now. Now, granted, there's going to be a lot of cars here that will end up getting the wave around, but I don't see the 9.
If he doesn't come in, there ain't nobody going in.
Very, very interesting here. If the 9 can make it on fuel, I mean, he can literally,
the only one that would be
a few laps.
Yeah, I mean, the only one would be the lucky dog, and that's Shively.
Yeah, Shively
is going to catch the lucky dog.
He's got 2 less laps than the 9. So this is going to be a stretch for both of them, and we'll see. I mean, if you're Shively here,
Oh,
How
I'm
can
going
you
in the
not
pits.
come in
No,
the
yeah,
pits?
but
You
Shipley's
gotta
going to
come
go
in.
in. He's going to come to the pits. So
Okay.
he's going to be in the back, right? So,
Yep.
I mean,
Freshest
and
tires.
he'll have the freshest tires. If there's another caution that comes out in the 16 laps, he's going to end up, being right back up front with the 9 and either have a chance to win or, it's going to be crazy. Who knows? It's going to be it's going to be an interesting finish. I think this is the most we've seen so many people down, and usually at this point, the leader would come down and like everybody one lap down, would be waved around. That's not going to happen here.
You can almost see the smile in the in the helmet there of the 9. Like no, no wave around for you.
Here, we can do this. Hold on. Is he smiling? I don't know, folks. Is he smiling? Can we see it? Can we see in that cockpit? I mean,
I can see that. I can see the glow in his eyes. He is happy to be where he's at right now. Can he make it the rest of the way, though, is the question, and that's going to certainly be the question on everyone's mind out there throughout the rest of the field, because we are starting to click down the laps here. I know it's taken a while to get to this point, but we got 15 laps to go. Should be getting the one to go this time by, which will make it 14 laps to go once we get the green flag. And if I'm not mistaken, I mean, well, no, we should still be doubling up, even though they're lap cars, I believe. I forget. There's so many lap cars, I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with my hands right now.
I mean,
but
well, Shipley's got to be in the back because he was a lucky dog, so he goes to the longest line. So 1 and 2.
So the 76 will come to the outside.
Yeah, so the Shipley in the 85, even though he's going to be in the back, he's in second. He definitely needs to just take his time. The 9, Carl, has a mile and a half on everybody and only 15 laps to go. He could probably do the slowest laps known to mankind, as long as he's got 30 some seconds, to kind of for everybody to catch him. 31 seconds is people's best. So that's a lot of time.
Honestly, I mean, even with that, even if he ends up finishing in second, he started second last on the field here tonight. He's up 33 spots right now, so you think he wouldn't be happy even just with a second place finish here and just coasting this thing to the end. Even if he loses the race here to Shively, he still could be walking away with a second place here pretty easily.
Yeah.
Any kind of issues here there we go. Yeah, I blinked out myself too. I thought it was just me. But we are green here once again. Looks like everybody gets away cleanly, and James Smith does not want to see any other flags other than the white flag and the checker flag from here on out. If that yellow comes out, it could be troublesome and could bring even more cars up there with a chance to get ahead of him. But as it stands right now, it is James Smith leading the way. David Shively, the only other one on the lead lap, but buried behind about 20 other cars until he gets to the leader. And you see him just kind of cruising around right now. Jeremiah Grau, Tom Lanier, Shane King for your top 5. Tyler Reed, Timothy Presley, Jorge Ledesma Jr., Aaron Genske, and Anthony Strickland as we come to the line with 13 laps to go.
And James Smith, obviously, he's in the pack. He's got people that are hungry, trying to get a lead out.
Oh no!
And gets wrecked as the 9 gets to the wall. The caution still hasn't been flown as everybody goes by.
Blown motor for the 9, exact thing that he did not want to see. James Smith. Oh no! A meatball for the 9. Hopefully, he can get it back to pit lane and get that thing repaired. But now Davis Shively is leading
at the back of the pack.
A ton of lap cars in front of him. I mean, you want to talk about a guy that really, really doesn't want to see the yellow flag come out. I mean, right now, Shively has got a 18 second lead right now over James Smith. But James Smith has got the meatball coming in. So now, as it shuffles around here, it looks like, a 25 second lead for the 85 here coming to the line. I mean, it's insane just to think about it for how this race has gone this entire way. But, oh man, what a turn of events there, as I believe it was Chapman Jr. getting into the side there of the 9 and putting James Smith in the wall. But Shively didn't mind that at all. He is out here leading by 25 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't ask for better. All his competition is up in front of him. Like, they have to go around the whole track. Got 11 laps, so obviously would like this thing to just kind of go green. As you see the 5 pushing, Dylan Jacobs pushing it hard there, getting in the wall just a little bit, still racing out some of his other competitors. They're back there. So a lot of racing going on still, Carl. And I think, we've seen Shively just know where he was at in the track. And this is heads-up racing. This is knowing your surroundings and what's going on. He knew for a fact there was no way he was going to catch the 9, so he just drove safely. Now, the fact that, a caution to come out during that whole debacle is beyond me and iRacing. But, why? Why not? Why didn't it come out? And obviously, this league obviously feeds off of iRacing cautions, just like, core racing does. And, and it works 95% of the time, but there's just some cases it'll just leave you baffled by scratch your head like, why not? Oh no,
we do have a caution. You talk about it enough and it happens. Looks like Drafty Beef, Aaron Genske, Jeremiah Grau, Tom Lanier involved in this one. Not what Shively wanted to see, but a lot of his competitors get caught up in this one. We'll see it here once again.
Yeah, Drafty Beef looking there to the outside, but
right there, already
the
happening
99.
in front.
Yeah.
The 99, the 48's getting involved. Somehow it looked like Prezi was going to get through, but he doesn't. 47 involved. This is the big one here at EchoPark. The 60 there of Shane King driving away, running away as fast as he can. I mean, that's pretty impressive. We may have to take a ride on board there with the 115. Nice little pirouette through 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's, they were sitting in 6th place at the time too. So obviously, hopefully, maybe some of these drivers have a fast repair to, get recovered here. So it's going to take some time, and we'll hop on board with that car here and you kind of see what it's like to be on board and go for a ride. So we'll go full speed here with Genske and see what it's like to take some tumbles.
Yeah, and turn away if you got a weak stomach, because this is not going to be a fun ride, especially for anybody in VR. That would not have been a fun ride at all.
Definitely a rough one there for Genske. Was running good tonight too.
How can you drive that thing away, Jimmy? How is that thing still driving? I mean, you look right there, the 47. That wheel is laying flat on the front right. And I don't mean a flat tire. I mean it's laying flat on the road. Somehow the 115 looks better.
Yeah, I mean, it don't look the greatest. I mean, she's banged up pretty good. Maybe it's the carbon fiber wrap on it. I don't know. Maybe there's something in the sponsorship of BSF barrels, but I don't know if they meant like barrel rolls. The 115 taking a tumble here late in the race. So we'll go back here to see where everybody's lined up. And you see, what the heck is this? This is live. What just happened to the Davis Shively?
I'm not sure. We may have to rewind that one right there and see what happened here. As I believe those when they were catching up to the pace car, because he's still up there in the lead.
Pace car.
Oh, right there.
The 44 hits the 60, and the 60 gets into the 85, and then it involving the 7 and the 13. Oh, I'm sure the 85 Shively is fuming. I know I would be.
To say the least. Yeah, I'm wondering if he's going to be able to take his spot back at the front and how much damage he actually has.
He is back out the front, but definitely has some massive damage on that car. He's not going to be a happy camper. Look at that, just a major right front damage to that car. Not sure what the 44 was thinking, getting involved, and it's it's hard to see what was going on, and it's not it wasn't the 60's fault for getting into the 85. It was that the lack of brakes from the 44, in my opinion, and I could be wrong. So we will take that with a grain of salt. But when you see it here on the camera, and you can only assume, but you don't know what's going through the driver. Whether they got distracted by a child, a cat, whatever. Things happen. and mistakes happen. But when you're this close to a race and about to win after having such a hard race here, is going to be a tough one to swallow. And I know for a fact that the 85 is under a lot more damage than they want right now. Matter of fact, it has a black flag as well.
Yeah, I believe they're probably going to clear that because it looks like they're giving him the lead and the choice to get going here on this as well deserves. Before we get back to green here, want to send a shout out to our sponsors here once again. Title sponsor being pinupsforvets.com. Also to just lost it now all of a sudden, SM Racing, and then also for, come on, as my mouse just doesn't want to work now, Majestic Promotional and branded apparel from pens and shirts, chapstick and hats. Whether you run your company, a government agency, sports team, or even a virtual race team, turn every item into a statement. Check them out and get a free quote today at majesticpba.com. We are back to racing here, already almost 3 wide on the front stretch. Man, what a turn of events here in the last 5 minutes here. And I mean, it's just all kinds of craziness. And you see Robert Altman trying to get that 85 going, but that 85 is certainly hurting here. And it's going to be hurting even more now as he gets turned on the backstretch. We're going to be under caution, and it's going to take us to a green-white checkered.
Yeah, tough break there. 85 just doing everything he could to kind of keep that thing going, and it gets turned again. Just David Shively not being a fan here tonight, or a fan of, I'm sure, the ending results here tonight, and will leave a sour taste in their mouth, I'm sure, for the rest of the evening. And you don't wish to see any of this stuff happen here. And we'll go ahead and play this back here. I got to choose a different camera. And we'll rewind this to kind of see what happened. But it looks like obviously drivers wanting to get around, and the 85 trying to block just a little bit. You can see him kind of going down there off the apron, maybe trying to get out of the way, and then kind of coming back up on the track just a little bit. Said, all right, maybe I do have the momentum, and then obviously it goes away. So down the track here, but his car was coming up, and it looks like Altman was coming down just a little bit. So a little bit of a racing incident, right there between those drivers, and that's going to spin him around, take another hard hit in the wall. The 3 is going to get into the wall. I see Tiffany Ellis getting involved there as well. Drivers taking evasive actions here, going by. It does look like the 9 was going to work their way back up to the front here after bending it there towards the end, but tough break for that number 85 here tonight.
Yeah, and now I'm kind of wondering kind of who's left at this point, as we've lost quite a few drivers here. We got a couple that got DQ'd on this one as well. Looks like Kelly Akron, Jared Martin reaching the threshold here as they're going to get DQ'd from the race.
That's what the mexes are.
That's what I'm assuming, yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a few drivers with black flags that need to be served. Looking at it, we got Bryson Anderson. Looks like Mr. Waff. Tyler Reed has got a meatball flag. Tom Lanier got a black flag. Thomas Osborne, Tristan Miner, Joe Thomas, all with black flags. A few of them already done and out for the night, but this is certainly not the way I don't think they envisioned the start of this season. I'm sure they'll get together, they'll clear some things up, they'll let some words fly, get it out of their system, and then get back at it next week and hopefully clean things up a little bit, as next week we're going to head to another track that is kind of the sister track here to EchoPark at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and that one is the same thing, is a 1.5 mile quad oval. And hopefully these drivers now have got a little idea of what the quad oval feels like, and can put on a better race next week. Because after that, we head to Dega for the 3rd race of the season. And certainly you want to worry about tempers flying. They can certainly fly at tracks like Dega. But tonight, the contingency award from pinupsforvets.com is going to go to the hard charger. Right now, the hard charger, he was when he was leading, and he is right now, as he is still a lap down. But James Smith in the number 9 is in 6th place right now. He is up 28 spots from starting back there in 34th.
Who? James Smith back in what position?
6th place, the 9.
The 9. I got him up 3 spots.
Okay, well that'll be that's from my SDK not working correctly then apparently, because I have him up 28. I give a job.
Maybe we should not have you say who's gained what positions. Biggest mover of the race right now is actually Robert Altman in the lead. He's up 33 spots.
Yeah, it's all kinds of mess. It puts him up 18 for me, so still a good amount on my side. But yeah, it's for some reason it never wants to work. Whether I'm here on time or not, it seems like the most game positions never wants to work correctly for me. So I guess I just won't call it out anymore.
Yeah, but we have 4 drivers on the lead lap. Who's going to be your winner? It's going to be Robert Altman, Timothy Presso, Shane King, or Aaron Genske for your top 4. Everybody else is at least 1 lap down. It's starting with a drafty Beef, Smith, McLean, and Beef and Smith are 1 lap down. Everybody else is 2 laps plus. King's got a black flag, and so does drafty Beef. So who will be your winner if those black flags are still in play? If they need to be served, they will not be cleared. They will be penalized. And with a lap down, so those drivers will not probably fit in those positions. So my call right now is now with Robert Altman and probably Presley and Genske. So we'll see how iRacing flags this as this thing comes down. 2 laps ago, we're back under green, and drivers coming down into pit lane here probably to serve that penalty as we called them out here. So Shane King is going to bring that down in here as Timothy Presley and Robert Altman battle it for the lead here. Aaron Genske back there just a little bit. Do have a lap car up there with Presley pushing them. So we got a good battle there. That's number 48 of
Jeremiah Grau actually pushing Presley to the lead, and now down the backstretch. I'm not sure if they're teammates or not, but certainly working together nicely. It's got Presley the lead going through turns 3 and 4 now. There's the final lap. Altman's going to have a run, though, through 3 and 4. The 48's going to let him race, and out of the corner, the 1 gets loose. The 94 gets loose. Who's going to get to the line first? It's going to be Timothy Presley getting the win. Aaron Genske going to come home in 2nd. Robert Altman in 3rd.
I have
Shane
him with
King
a DQ, though.
Actually,
So.
Altman showing his DQ. Oh, man.
And King's still going around. King still have to go all the way around the track, but he might come our way here with a 3rd, currently 4th, and he had to come in and serve a black flag. So drivers having so many incidents, getting DQ'd. You can see right there. There it is.
3rd place
so
for
3rd
Shane
place
King.
After the pit stop. Wow. I mean, wow, what a turn of events at the end here, folks. Obviously, at the end was battling for the finish, and we will go back here and see if I can catch the C. And then obviously SDK didn't want to play nice since the race was about over. Yeah, just a tough break there for some of them drivers. But yeah, Presley will walk away your winner here tonight with Genske and King. So that's your top 3. And you can see on the left-hand side, folks, all the checkered flags, the drivers finishing. The ones that are out, the ones that have black flags, obviously only 3 cars in the lead lap. Still drivers with meatballs. Tough night here for some of these drivers that Hold Your Brakes Racing Academy. And just, what a way to kind of start. And I think let's not take away that we had green flag pit stops, Carl. These drivers did get under there. They got some green flag runs in. And it always gets overshadowed by some of these cautions. And that's what happens when you got new drivers learning, and they need to learn. And here tonight is just one of those things. But they did manage to get out there long enough where they had to execute green flag stops, and I commend and I'm very proud of the drivers that were able to do that and get back out on the track. So I want to say it looked bad in some cases, but there's a lot of good points here tonight too.
Yeah, and definitely congratulations to the amount of drivers out here as well. 33 drivers getting out here and turning some laps. It was a great showing for the season opener. And I mentioned it earlier on. you have this many new drivers coming in. You have this many drivers starting a brand new series. You don't know how others are going to drive. You don't know how well they can handle their cars. And again, it's geared towards more of a newer, fresher type of iRacer here in the Hold Your Brakes Academy. But I mean, at least for Robert Altman, it does give him a fourth place there. Obviously, the DQ gives him a one lap penalty, basically, so he's going to finish in fourth. Still a top 5 for him. But Jimmy, maybe you want to use iRacing just to be sure to give us the unofficial rundown tonight. But either way, while we're getting these drivers ready for their interviews, why don't you give us a rundown here tonight's finishing order?
Go ahead and I gotta drop some stuff out of the way, so just give me 1 minute. Excuse the UI, but it's really not that bad these days. So I have for iRacing results, and I'll go. Let me see if I can. Excuse me. I'll move it for y'all so you can see it. I mean, have it off to the side because that's why I like it. So here is the iRacing results for the night here, and you see Timothy Presley on top over Aaron Genske, and then Shane King will be your top 3, and then Robert Altman, Drafty Beef in 5th, Anthony Strickland in 6th, and Sean McLean in 7th, with James Smith, Jorge Ledesma, and Bryson Landerson for your top 10. Excuse me. Jeremiah Grau, Andrew Jones, David Chapman Jr., David Shively, Robbie Miners in 15th, Jackson West, Tyler Reed, Tom Lanier in 18th, Kelly Ackers in 19th, Tiffany Ellis will be in the top 20. 21st would be Dylan Jacobs with Marty White in 22nd, Thomas Osborne in 23rd, Jarrett Martin in 24th, Tristan Miner will finish in 25th, Jake and Raven and back in 26th, Ryan Perrone, Matt Bryant, Joe Thomas finishing in 29th, Rob Higgs with an early incident in parking it here early finishes in 30th, Matt Ulmer will finish in 31st, and Don King, Steve Harrison, William Martin, and Jonathan Marsh for a 35 car field. Now Jonathan Marsh was not out there driving, but he's officially on the docket. Got qualifying in, did not practice or race, so maybe just wasn't feeling it here yet tonight in that car, and maybe just wasn't ready to run with the rest of the field. But don't be afraid to get out there, John, and get out there and race with your fellow league mates. Definitely had a difficult time at times, but there was, like I said, there was a lot of good racing out there when we were able to go green and being able to hit that green flag pit stop, execute it, and they were almost done with the whole thing, but obviously towards the end of the cycle, because of how mixed up everybody was, one car was able to stay out and stay on the lead lap, and that was the number 9 of James Smith. So good job there for those drivers, and good job for showing up tonight and just participating and having some fun.
Yeah, and I guess another thing for Robert Altman, at least he may walk away with the biggest mover of the race award, the Hard Charger award, as he does still finish up 30 positions, starting in 34th and finishing in 4th. We'll get our top 3 in here for their interviews, and just a crazy ending in this thing, but we'll get our 3rd place finisher here tonight, and that's going to be the 60 of Shane King. Shane, it's a heck of a good job serving that black flag on the 1 lap to go. You kind of needed it to get on the podium. Of course, you knew you were going to get a podium doing that, though, right?
Oh, yeah, it played right into my hands. It was all part of the strategy.
Oh, man. I mean, what a crazy ending. You could probably say it about the entire race here tonight, but it was insane all over the place, and so many drivers unfortunately getting black flags, getting even DQ'd here towards the end, and it's kind of crazy seeing the white flag come out and seeing so many drivers diving into the pits to serve their black flags.
Yeah, so I had a black flag from the previous restart. I didn't hit the incident limit. I had a black flag because the leader didn't go in the restart zone, and it was like he kind of let off a little, and I kind of drifted ahead of him. And then the green came out naturally, and it black flagged me. So I'm still kind of like,
scratching your head on that one. Yeah.
iRacing.
Well, listen, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to be happy. I mean, last season was maybe a bit of a letdown. Didn't see the 60 up there towards the front, I'm sure, as much as you wanted to see. Here tonight, you had some speed, and you were up there for quite a bit, leading a bunch of laps, and kind of get paid off with your podium here tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I've been telling the guys in race chat and stuff that, I mean, this was pretty much a yellow fest race, and this is a close quarters super speedway. Basically, there's not much room to move around. You still slip and slide a little bit, so probably not the best choice for the start of a season for everybody to kind of knock the dust off. But I see good things going forward. So, and definitely it was good to get up there and actually lead, because I don't even know if I led a lap last season.
If you did, it was very, very few and far in between. I know we definitely see it towards the back. Well, listen, hey, it's only to give him his due right now, because he's maybe hopefully turning around over the little off season here, and better showing here in season 4. But either way, you start off good. You finish with a podium. I mean, regardless of what happened throughout the race, you finish with a podium. So you survived. You get up here to talk to us, and we'll give you some time now for any shout outs or thanks that you may have.
All right, man. First of all, I'd like to thank pinupsforvets.com, because without them, we wouldn't have you guys as broadcasters, and that, you guys are great. We really appreciate y'all. SM Racing Products, they're sponsoring our Rookie of the Year competition this year, so I appreciate them coming on board. Majestic Promotional and Branded Apparel, they're sponsoring the team championship this year, and that has caused everyone to snatch up every driver they can. So there's a lot of interesting point races going on, and I want to shout out Royalty Racing, the team that I drive for, and again, all the drivers that just choose to race here at HYBA like this, they really make the league. It's I say it time and time again, but I'm just the guy behind the scenes that keeps track of the points. The league drivers make or break the league. So the positive attitudes, the willingness to learn, the willingness to help people learn is what I think sets this league apart, and I appreciate all of them.
Well, so maybe last year you were the guy that was behind the scenes and doing the points, but you're up there in the points now, and I want to see that 60 stay up there in the points. So take some time to celebrate this one, and congratulations on your podium here tonight. We'll see if you can go back to back and talk to us again after Charlotte next week.
Yeah, I hope so. All right, guys. Have a good one. Thanks.
You too, buddy. That is the driver of the 60, Shane King, as he gets his podium here tonight. Before I forget, do want to send a shout out to our race sponsor here tonight, as this was the Atlanta Under the Lights presented by DumpsterToday.com. Second place here tonight is going to go to the 115 of Aaron Genske.
Aaron, Jimmy, and Carl up in the booth. Copy.
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, we read you loud and clear. Aaron, it was a very interesting night, obviously plagued with a few more cautions than most drivers would appear to want in any race. But, you were up there for a good portion of the majority of the race, up towards the front anyways. But you got to take me back through your little flight that you took during towards the end of the race, where you did a few flips before you could bring that car back in.
Yeah, that was a ride. Do you know how many flips I did?
A lot.
No, I just remember the pirouette on your nose. I mean, you did about I think a triple axle on the nose of the car.
At least 3 or 4.
Oh, I was telling the guys in another Discord that I got dizzy just watching out the windshield during that.
Because he's mad.
Well, I mean, if you, I'm glad. Are you in VR by chance?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Do you use virtual reality?
No, I probably would have thrown up if I did.
Yes, good answer.
Good answer. Man, I mean, either way, you conquered the obstacles tonight. You were able to keep this thing here, your car towards the front, even after the somersaults down the stretch here. Obviously, plenty of learning to do, but plenty of great racing happened, and you were able to walk away here tonight in second place. So, from me and Carl up here in the booth and all the fans out there watching, we want to say congratulations first and foremost, and also give you some time for any shots they might have in that 115 here before we let you go.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was definitely a blessing to finish second for once. I'm usually one of the guys that finish in the rear all wrecked up. But yeah, I'd like to thank pinupsforvets.com and SM Racing Products for putting on the show for us and letting us do all this. I don't really have any personal sponsors despite my hood sponsor, but just I'd like to thank you guys for putting this on, and I love watching the broadcast the day after.
Well, we really appreciate the shout outs, and let me make a suggestion to maybe the Red Baron paint scheme on that car, as you have mastered flips and rolls of aerial tricks. So just a food for thought for your car. I think it'd be badass red car with the Red Baron cross on there. So maybe just see if you can find one out there for that beautiful Toyota Supra. But again, congratulations on that second place finish here tonight, Aaron, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. You have a good night.
You too.
That is the second place finisher here tonight, the 115 of Aaron Genske. I think even the Wonder Bread car with Ricky Bobby flying through the air,
he would have been jealous.
Wouldn't be bad either. But either way, top spot here tonight is going to go to the number 1 of Timothy Presley. Timothy, you had a couple wins last season. You start off this season on top. It wasn't easy surviving out here tonight, though.
No, it absolutely wasn't. I'm still in shock watching the replay over and over. I still can't believe that I somehow crossed the line first.
Yeah, I mean, your hood kind of tells the story. There's plenty of wreckers. There was plenty of what the heckers, but you do see the checkers first. So, I mean, it's got to feel good starting off the season here on top. I know you wish you would have played a part in the championship for season 3, but either way, starting off on top here in season 4.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always great to start off strong and, coming back with Pinups for Vets, SM Racing, just everything that they do to keep this league running. This is why everybody keeps coming back to this series. There's always crazy moments, great races, amazing finishes. You just can't get enough of it.
So what were your thoughts with, I think it was about like 15 laps to go, and you're one of the cars one lap down. The leader decides not to come into the pits, and we had, I think, with the lucky dog, we had 2 cars on the lead lap. I mean, what are your thoughts at that point in the race?
Honestly, I thought all hope was lost at that point. I saw that the leader didn't pit, nobody got the wave around, so I thought, oh man, he's just going to walk away with it unless we do something. So I was talking to my teammates, and I told them, hey, we got to get up there as soon as we possibly can. We got to be aggressive and get our laps back. And then next thing I know, leader gets into the wall. I think, hey, we might have some hope here. Then second caution comes out. We somehow get the lucky dog back with that big wreck, even though we were involved in it. But we just forced our way back up, somehow came away with a win.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how iRacing is sometimes with the lucky dog, even with the caution. I mean, we've seen a couple incidents here tonight that we're kind of scratching our heads like, how is that not a caution? Then we've even seen some other ones where like, well, that one's only a single car. How the heck is that a caution? So iRacing can be a little funny, and even with the lucky dog, sometimes there's times where a net code is involved, and you're technically not even involved in it, but it doesn't give it to you. And then you got other ones like you said here tonight where you were involved and you get it. So it's weird, but you take it when you can get it, and you don't complain certainly when you're coming home in first. So congrats on the win here tonight. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, just a huge shout out to the Checkers, Wreckers, and What the Heckers podcast. I'm glad that I could get in all 3 of those moments tonight. Happy birthday to Hayden, all the guys at MKM Racing Development, everybody working their butts off at the shop over there, putting out a good late model every single week. And huge thank you for Chevy.
All right, buddy. Well, take some time to celebrate this one. We got pretty much the same layout next week. You guys head to Charlotte, so we'll see if you can get it back on top. Hopefully a little bit cleaner next time out there.
Absolutely. Going to try to go back to back.
That is your winner here tonight, the one of Timothy Presley, getting it done. Want to bring in one more here for tonight. If since he's finally out there in the race, want to try and get out and get him an interview. Well, he can never know when he's going to actually get up here in the top 3 and earn his way into the booth. But I guess he's paying the way to the booth here tonight. Joe Thomas, driver driver here in this series, and driver of the. Why am my brain farting on your number right now?
218.
218. There it is. Yeah. I'm looking for 217.
He got a year older today. He got a year older today, Joe, and he lost everything. Can't be on time. He's out in the field, out in left field. And he's just losing it. Maybe some Alzheimer's kicking in or something.
Well, either way, Joe, first of all, I want to thank you for coming back on board here with PinupsForVets.com and sponsor another season 4 here for HYBA. But, also, obviously, bringing us back on board here to cover another season. And also, welcoming you back out here to get a race in here. I know we don't get a chance to see you out there too much. We didn't see you too much out there tonight either, unfortunately. But it's going to feel good to at least get back in the rig.
Yeah, I've had some time off, and this week I've been primarily running GT3s at Le Mans just because it's a fun track, and then come in here and all right, back in the Xfinity car, and I get rear-ended in the first accident or first wreck. I get taken out between wrecks, and then I get caught up into my last wreck, and I got as many laps as I could with the 10 minutes of damage I had. And then, became a spotter for my teammate. And we were running it up in the top 5 and then top 10. And he got caught up in his own wreck. And it was decent outing for Team Operation Motorsport.
Well, I mean, it's a great showing for the league to see so many drivers get out here as well. We talked about 33 drivers, I think, took the green flag here tonight. 35 signed up. So, it's not like you guys are just, kind of clicking through the same drivers season in, season out. You're getting a lot of fresh faces out here. And unfortunately, sometimes, fresh faces not understanding how others drive. And, first race of the season can get a little bit sketchy. Well, we'll say that to say the least, but it was crazy out there, and it's like Shane said, you're kind of starting on a mini super speedway here, and it's kind of flat to the floor, but it's a lot skinnier than a track like Talladega that you're going to go to in race number 3.
Yeah, it is flat to the floor when you're by yourself, but when you're in the draft, you have to let up and keep that gap between you. You can't run nose to tail, except for maybe on the backstretch. But yeah, running out here, we have a bunch of new guys. We saw last season with our 1 week off, where it was a wreck fest the week after. So even with the same guys around and girls, can't forget about Tiffany. We we all took a month off, except for a couple of practices as a group, and so it was rough knocking the rust off.
I know some of the guys and gals running over in the pit road speed limit racing also, so trying to keep a little bit fresh. But yeah, it's just there's so many new faces out here, and sometimes you just, like I said, you got to knock the rust off, not only from the off season, but just for the new drivers out there as well. But I want to give you some time to talk about PinupsForVets.com real quick to kind of give everybody an idea what you guys offer over there.
Yeah, Gina Elise, she runs the whole thing by herself, pretty much, with her ambassadors assisting her when possible, and they primarily help. They take female veterans and dress them up in 1940s era pinup style dresses and outfits and stuff like that. Get the hair all done and everything to the nines. Get an annual calendar. This year there is their 20th anniversary calendar, and they use those funds they send the calendars out to anyone who orders them. You can, as someone who orders them, you can send it in a care package to active duty, or you can send it to veterans in the hospitals that they visit, and they'll give them out for free on their hospital visits. They actually just did one a day or two ago. I just saw the post on Facebook today, and they were in San Antonio at the VA hospital there. And so, yeah, just check out PinupsForVets.com, Pinups for Vets on any of the social media, see what they're up to, support them, and hopefully we can get them a lot of good foot traffic through this broadcast.
Absolutely, and it's always great, and I mean, I've said it before, when it comes to sponsors in general for a series, it's great when any kind of sponsor can help out, and you've been a big help. Between yourself and obviously putting up pinupsforvets.com out there as the title sponsor. So want to give you some time as we did to kind of let everybody know what it's all about out there. And I want to thank you one more time, and hopefully we'll get to see that 217 out there quite a few more times this season, and hopefully get to see you maybe up here in the booth and earning your way up here with a top 3. But either way, I want to thank you for everything that you do here for the series and for for Shane and everybody out there in the 218, not 17, as I'll correct myself.
There you go.
Before you do, I'll get in there. No, I got it. But either way, thank you once again for bringing us on board here for Hold Your Brakes Academy. And before we let you go here tonight, we'll give you some time to give any more shout outs you may have.
Yeah, I gotta with the broadcast, gotta bringing on more advertisers, SM Racing Products, and I'm blanking on Miracles in my head for some reason. I'm forgetting the other. Majestic. That's it.
Yep.
But appreciate them coming on board to sponsor the Rookie of the Year, and I'm forgetting what the other award is or whatever it is. But appreciate them coming on board. And next week is my other sponsor, Operation Motorsport, or not sponsor, but I'm supporting them in any way I can. And Team Operation Motorsport will be running a replica livery for the race that's going to be at Virginia International Raceway in, I think, the first weekend of November. I'll get the dates better for the next week's interview. And they'll be running BMW F82s out there for the race and supporting the Veterans Race of Remembrance and in support of Operation Motorsport. Awesome. And we'll talk more about them next week.
That's awesome. All right, buddy. Well, we'll let you go for this week. Enjoy the week off. Hopefully, it turns around a little bit better for you at Charlotte, and we'll either way we'll get to chat with you again. But take some time and enjoy the rest of the week.
I will, and you as well.
As driver of the 218, as I'll get it right this last time here, as is Joe Thomas with pinupsforvets.com and Operation Motorsports, and so many other great things that he is involved with. But that is going to do it and put a wrap on tonight's race here from the EchoPark Speedway. Again, Charlotte is going to be coming up next week, with Talladega the week after. So maybe one more chance for the drivers to get a good race in before kind of Talladega looms on the horizon. But for myself and Jimmy here in the booth for CRN, we'll see you at the track.
Happy birthday, Carl. Peace.
Thank you, buddy.